So if you know somebody that is in any of these communities we're calling out, and if you know their cell number, we're going to ask you for your help today to call them, because a lot of them can't watch television. In some cases, perhaps they can't watch, the live stream on their cell phone, or they can't hear us on a radio station. If you know somebody in the path of these storms today, we call out, call their cell phone and tell them you just need to go to a safe place and explain what you're seeing here. We're basically going to need you to assist us today because of the tremendous number of power outages we have from the massive issues we had this morning. So we have a tornadic supercell storm that is sitting at the triple point where Walker County, Winston County, Cullman County all come together. This is passing over the southern part of Smith Lake. It's really in the area near or just below Duncan Bridge Marina. And as it comes out on the Cullman County side, you've got Brushy Pond. And again, based on that photograph, again, we'll go back and show you what this thing looks like. This is from Manchester, just north of Jasper. We'll go back to the MacBook Pro, and that's the wall cloud with this storm. Now, that was probably 10 minutes ago. And at this point, Jason, it could be down. And we want to stress that. That's a still picture, but that is a very well-organized storm with good structure.
It could have an invisible funnel. This might have been the point where it actually began. And often when a tornado just gets started, the funnel is invisible until it can be clouded up with debris and dust, and eventually that condensation funnel gets all the way down to the ground. Looking at the parameters on this storm, the tornado impact is now at a 9.6, and the significant tornado index at an 11.5. And given the fact that we had those numbers back on April 15th, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, I would almost guarantee there's a tornado on the ground. It may not be a big tornado, but it doesn't take a big one to do a lot of damage, especially to mobile homes. It can knock trees down on substantial structures and crush them. 90-mile-per-hour wind may not blow a house away, but if a tree is right next to it, the tree could fall through the house and cause a significant amount of damage. We don't want you outside watching this from the front porch or from the back porch. We would prefer that you get into an interior part of your house. If you don't have a basement to get to, just get in the middle of the house in a small room, a closet that's away from windows, a good bathroom that's away from windows on the lowest floor. Storm pits and storm shelters are common in that part of the country up in southwest Cullman County. So if you got one of those, it's a good time to go ahead and go to it. We'll take these numbers off. And again, that tornado impact approaching 10, that one does max out at 10. I was not aware that the significant tornado went much higher than that. But we have a bounded weak echo region, this little donut hole that shows up near Alabama 257. Now, this radar image is about 4 minutes old, so you would imagine that this circulation that's showing up in northeast Walker is now either over extreme southeast Winston or southwest Cullman. It's somewhere there close to the Winston-Cullman County line, a little bit northwest of Cold Springs High School. This will come across Brushy Pond, across the areas there along what's known as Brushy Pond Mountain, Ben South Mountain, and then come up Cullman County 109, and then stay maybe just a touch northwest of Dodge City. So that would put anybody from roughly Crane Hill and Bremen all the way to Jones Chapel at a threat from a possible tornado. And look at that. It's wrapping up a little bit more intensely as the storm continues on its northeast track.
That thing's spinning like a top.
Yeah. Let's look at it from the Columbus perspective.
You got a beware, don't you?
Yep. Got the donut hole still showing up. Earlier it was a hook. Now a weak echo region is the hook. A bounded weak echo region is when you have that donut hole shape. And from Columbus it looks a little bit different. James, one thing that may be happening here too, other than a tornado, is some extremely strong rear flank downdraft winds. Notice that tight gradient on the back edge of the storm that's there near Arley. Sometimes that can be an indication that you have extremely strong winds running into the storm and they can't go through the storm, so they either go up or go down or around. And sometimes when they come down, you can have damaging straight line winds behind a tornado that can be on the order of 90 miles per hour.
That happened in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that the damage on Loop Road was RFD damage and not from a tornado. So you're right. But look at the structure. Take a closer look at this thing. This is a very dangerous storm. And again, I don't want to get hung up in hyperbole today. You've heard us warn you about this day for several days now. But clearly, this is a situation where if you are under a warning, you want to take it seriously. There's the hook echo right there. And again, this thing is wrapped up, a possible tornado back in this back flank of the storm. That's Alabama 257. This is Arley that goes down to Curry. For Curry, the danger is over. For Jasper, the danger is over. Unless you live right around the Smith Lake Dam or near the southern part of Smith Lake, in Walker County, you're fine. It is that far northeastern tip. And again, Winston, Walker, Cullman. Large hail is falling on top of Smith Lake, and again, a tornado right now is crossing over the lake, and that will be on the Cullman County side here in just a matter of minutes. So if you are anywhere close to the school at Brushy Pond in that southwestern corner of Cullman County, you need to be in a safe place right now. We are continuing to watch for reports, and we've got our sky watchers. Not only are they out looking at this, they're also in many cases excellent at scanner traffic, and so far we've got a report, first off, from Brian Peters and Dr. Tim Cullman, our colleagues. They are west of Jasper, and they watched a wall cloud with this go almost overhead. It had brief rotation briefly to the southwest, but they did not see a funnel at that point. But this is much more organized right now. That was as of a few moments ago. No reports of any damage in Jasper around the 5 Points area. It's north of town, up around Farmstead School. The only reports I've seen coming out of Walker County in terms of damage, it's some trees down up around Saragossa. So far, so good. Now, look at the tornado impact number, 9.4. And the significant tornado index, we always thought that maxed out at 10. This thing has been running over 10. So, again, these numbers are just about off the chart, as are almost all of the severe weather parameters today, moving northeast. And remember, occasionally, severe storms that are wrapped up like this will move maybe a little more to the right of that mean northeast flow if the thing really starts to wrap up. But at this point, it still looks like it's on that steady northeast track, and that hook, the tornado signature, is sitting on the county line between Winston and Cullman. Now, for most of Winston County, you're not involved in this. Haleyville, Double Springs, Lynn, this is not going to affect you. This is down here in the far southeastern corner, really pretty close to the Smith Lake Dam, or just north of there. And again, that's going to be coming out on the other side of Smith Lake and then moving up here toward Brushy Pond. And then ultimately the I-65 corridor, and then again, Jason will expand this out for those people that are traveling, will encourage now no travel along Interstate 65 from Blunt Springs to Cullman, and that this strong tornado indication on radar will be crossing over the interstate, perhaps somewhere pretty close to Good Hope. Of course, this is the Good Hope exit right here. That's Highway 69 north going up into Cullman and intersects with 31 right here. That's Highway 69 south that goes down to Jasper. And it certainly looks like this thing wants to come right up here, Jason, in the general direction of Cullman. And they've taken a rough hit this morning, and here comes another one.
Right. We'll put the fan on this and give it an approximate movement up to the northeast. Over the next 28 minutes, this will be affecting places like Good Hope, West Point, Cullman, Vinemont. That's at about 3 to 3:05 between Cullman and Vinemont. Of course, those are estimated times for the center of the city. And of course, we know that Cullman and Good Hope are much larger cities than just the center of town, especially Good Hope going all the way down to the edge of Smith Lake. City limits go practically down to the park down there on the edge of Smith Lake, close to Spiegel's. So with that in mind, we've got a potential tornado that could affect a pretty large area here. You start to get into some seriously large population on the west side of Cullman, and then it comes across there about 25,000 people in a clustered region right there around Cullman and Good Hope and Vinemont. So this may stay a little northwest of our original tornado or damaging wind path. We're not certain which one it was earlier this morning, but certainly something happened that produced something that looked like a tornado over eastern Cullman County. And one of the things that you need to be aware of today is that regardless of whether it's 100 miles per hour in a straight line or 100 miles per hour as a part of a spinning tornado, it's got the same force behind it. It doesn't matter if it's spinning or not. If you're getting that kind of wind, it's going to do some substantial damage. And that couplet just looks incredible over southwest Cullman County. It is moving over Brushy Pond as we speak.
Well, let me pass this report on, Jason. This is from a person that lives in Curry on Burroughs Crossing Road, and they watched this go by, and they saw strong rotation, and they say it looked very low to the ground, which means there could be a tornado there. And understand, people that perhaps have watched severe storms in Oklahoma and Kansas, there are no hills and no trees out there. Around here, we have hills and we have trees, and it's very hard to see these even in broad daylight like this. This is why many of our colleagues say it doesn't make any sense to chase in Alabama, chase storms, because you just can't see them that well. You can do it, but it's awfully hard. But again, based on that report, again, we need to take this thing very seriously. And again, this is a possible tornadic storm moving northeast. I think we can give an all clear now if you're from Dodge City south Dodge City sits here. That's the Highway 69 South exit. This is Alabama Highway 91 right here that goes up to Hanceville. And again, we had the severe damage in Hanceville and Holly Pond this morning. This storm will be on a far northern track than that. And let's look at that Cullman sky cam. We've got a sky cam on US 278 right here. Now, we're not going to see anything at this point. We're not looking for a tornado on this shot. We're looking for the environmental conditions. And I'll tell you right now, that's amazing. The dew point is 70.
The wind is not from the north.
Right. That is an incorrect.
Wow, look at that.
And gosh, goodness gracious. Let's take a look at those cloud bases. Are you kidding me? And you know,
I cannot believe we can see that far away.
All right. So that is our wall cloud. So now we can just focus on this thing. This is the camera is a little east of downtown Cullman, but the one thing about it, that this storm is totally isolated. In that there's nothing around it, and it's not competing with other storms for inflow.
Just got a report of structural damage near Crane Hill.
Okay.
So I think we can safely say this thing's probably on the ground now.
Yeah, and again, just because you don't see a condensation funnel out of that lowering, you know, hey, there could be one down right now. And of course, Crane Hill is on the Cullman County side of Smith Lake. And a whole lot of people have Crane Hill addresses that live around Smith Lake, but that tornado, or what apparently seems to be a tornado, came down right through one of those neighborhoods that's in the Crane Hill, with the Crane Hill mailing address. And that was reported to the Cullman County EMA. So again, we've got some structural damage from this, and we're watching a severe storm right now. This is the right rear flank of the severe storm. This is the lowering back on the backside from the Cullman Skycam. And again, let's pull this out a little bit, Jason. Let me just show, let's look at the structure of this thing. One of the things you look for, you want to look for striations. And I think we can safely say that is a rotating updraft. This is the kind of thing where that looks like something you see in Kansas. It's amazing. All right, now let's go back in a little bit tighter. We'll scan the base of this thing. And this is a storm coming right for downtown Cullman. So again, look at there. Look.
That,
right,
there's your funnel.
Okay.
Not sure if it's down.
Right. And remember, just because you don't see the condensation, this thing could be down. The next thing you look for would be debris. Now, it's so far away from this, I don't know if we'll be able to see it, the debris this far away, but clearly this is an urgent message. This is what I would go ahead and call a tornado emergency for the city of Cullman. If you are watching us in Cullman, we want people right now to be in a safe place. If you're anywhere in the city limits of Cullman, if you are in Good Hope, you want to be clearly in a safe place. And again, we're just going to watch this thing together. We're going to have this on our camera for a long time. Coming from Cullman, we've got an incredible wrapped up thunderstorm that is rotating. We have, this is the wall cloud, and from time to time we've seen that try and come down. We've had reports of structural damage around the Crane Hill, which is on the eastern side of Smith Lake, and we are going to watch this whole thing together. And the good thing about this is the only severe storm for now in our television market. So we can focus on this, and we're not having to bounce back and forth between multiple storms, which we can do. So again, we are just going to watch this thing together. The camera, the Skycam, is located at the water treatment facility, which is just a few miles east of downtown Cullman on Highway 278. It's on top of the large structure there, and it's got a great view of the sky in all directions. That's one of the reasons we chose that. And again, this is what we're watching right here. And understand, there could be a tornado down. Just because you don't see a large wedge tornado doesn't mean there's nothing down. In a situation like this, something...
You know, James, I think in the contrast there, if you look at the contrast, I can look at it from one monitor here, and I can see some darkness. So I think there may be a funnel that is very faintly visible from this perspective. You have to look at the monitor just the right way. Either that or it's the curtain of rain wrapping around the backside of it. But there is, from one monitor that I can see here that has a little bit higher contrast, I can definitely see some darkening underneath that funnel. It's hard to tell if it is if it's tornado or if it's rain on the backside of it, because this thing should be wrapped in rain based on what we're seeing from the radar. And I'm leaning toward it being a rain curtain that's coming around the backside of the mesocyclone, but certainly interesting, to say the least.
Right. And again, we are getting the one thing that is so great about communication these days. We get so many reports in real time from a huge army of those folks that are with us on the social networks, on Facebook and Twitter. And again, at this point, we do not see any new reports of damage here in the last few minutes.
Look at that. The funnel's getting tighter.
I see it there. Okay. Again,
Let's get tighter in on that thing. I'm going to take the higher compression off so we can move faster. That's a tornado on. That's got to be on the ground. Look at that.
We got a tornado down. This is a tornado emergency for the city of Cullman.
Yeah, and I think at West Cullman, you are in most danger of this. Look, I can see the debris cloud at the bottom of it. That is west of downtown Cullman right now. So if you are in the northwest edge of Good Hope or in Cullman, you need to be at a safe place immediately. We have a tornado live on the sky cam.
All right. Again, this is a tornado emergency for the city of Cullman at 2:46. This is west of downtown Cullman, approaching the city. So again, right now, this is the time to go to a safe place. Do not wait and watch the television. Right now, you need to go to that tornado safe place in your home. Small room, hall, closet, bathroom, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. This thing is clearly down. You can see debris coming around the bottom right now. It's moving very rapidly, moving at about 50 miles an hour, moving to the northeast. And again, more than likely down and through here, we have debris that is swirling clearly in the base of that tornado. And this looks like it is beginning to become a large tornado. Just because you don't see the condensation funnel all the way down doesn't mean it's not there. So again, we don't want anybody in mobile homes. Nobody should be in a car in Cullman. In the city limits of Cullman, you need to be stop at a convenience store, a gas station, some type of site-built structure, and get in there and wait until this thing passes. This is a tornado that is live approaching the downtown Cullman area. We're looking from our sky cam on top of the water treatment facility, and again, clearly this tornado is down, and you can see right now that it is causing probably major damage at this point. Jason, this, you know...
And remember, we're probably more than 5 or 6 miles away from that, so it looks fairly small, but that is a large tornado.
Yeah, we lost your mic, Jason. Again.
Okay, I got to change it.
Right, and again, this is from quite a distance, okay? This is from a long way away. This could be a large, violent tornado, and this could be the kind that stays on the ground for a long time. So again, this will be getting closer and closer to our camera site and closer to downtown Cullman. And again, tell you what, I'm going to bring up radar scope. But I want to stay with that shot full screen. There's no need for us to show radar because we'll tell you exactly where this thing is. This is a tornado that is approaching downtown Cullman from the west. This came over the southern part of Smith Lake. And again, it's just making a beeline right toward downtown Cullman. This could be a large tornado. But the truth is, it doesn't matter if it's an EF0 or an EF1 that is life-threatening, but this is a tornado that looks very significant. Again, just because you don't see the darker clouds underneath that, it's down. You can see the debris swirling underneath this thing. And this is a tornado emergency for the city of Cullman. Beyond a tornado warning because you're looking at it. And again, it's right here. And that is about to come right through downtown Cullman, watching the radar screen. And again, clearly in terms of travel, nobody should be driving along Interstate 65 or US 31 between the, let's say, the Dodge City exit and just the Morgan County line up around the Lacon exit, okay? So nobody should be on Interstate 65. In fact, I would suggest this tornado is crossing the interstate right now, and goodness gracious, this is absolutely incredible. So again, this is a violent tornado that is approaching downtown Cullman. It should be close to Interstate 65 right now. And of course, within a matter of moments, that will take it right into downtown Cullman. Everybody in downtown Cullman should be in a safe place, hunkered down right now. Do not, stay up watching this on television. Just take your phone. You can watch this on an app. And all you've got to do is be safe at this point. And
that's a multiple vortex tornado.
Yeah, it sure looks like those are very...
You've got multiple vortices rotating around a common center.
Yep. And again, as this comes through downtown Cullman, more than likely this could actually begin to become darker as debris gets involved. We have noticed the debris ball signature on radar, which means that there is clearly debris in the base of that. And I'm going to send, tell you what, Jason, you might put a note. Okay, you put a note in the Weather Service chat in Huntsville.
Yeah, they're aware of this.
Okay.
This is and again, this is if you're anywhere from Kugler Creek to downtown Cullman, we can't. I mean, it's obvious. You've got to get to safety. middle of the house, if you don't have a basement, if you are if you're listening to us at Walmart in Cullman, this may even come close there. I mean, the entire city of Cullman from top to bottom, you need to be aware of this. We're going to watch this thing come right up into the middle of the city, most likely. If not there, it's going to cross over the exit right out there close to the flea market. So if you're near the flea market on Highway 278, just saw a power flash in the screen there.
It's going to get close to this site too.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking very close. I think it may be just a little west of here, but you can see how it's getting bigger in the screen as it's coming toward us.
That's clearly a multiple vortex tornado. You've got these vortices rotating around a common axis, which is the core of this tornado. And again, more than likely, this is right on top of downtown Cullman right now. So again, the next call to action, if you are north or east of downtown Cullman, you need to be in a safe place. Clearly, everybody in downtown Cullman has to be in a safe place right now. And if you're north or east of Cullman, you need to be in a safe place as well, because that is a violent, large, dangerous tornado that is coming through the city of Cullman right now, more than likely producing extensive damage. And soon it'll be interesting to see. Again, we're watching the radar feeds, and we want to take that full because that's all that matters. But we'll tell you right now that this thing is going to come right up through downtown Cullman and then continue northeast, Jason. It looks like this one, instead of affecting Holly Pond, will affect the areas north of there, maybe Gold Ridge and Fairview and places like that.
Yeah, this is the classic Cullman County path, the Highway 69 path. Based on the high top radar, the circulation ought to be crossing US 31 in a matter of a few seconds. So East Cullman, East Elementary School, out towards St. Bernard, you need to be at a safe place. We are near St. Bernard with this camera. You're looking live at a tornado. You can see those small things. That's debris. That is large debris flying around in a funnel that is approaching downtown Cullman. This could be a devastating tornado moving into the city of Cullman now. It is very large. Based on that image right there, I'd say it's at least a quarter mile wide, if not bigger, maybe a half mile wide. And it seems to be getting stronger. It seems to be getting bigger. So if you're in Cullman, please take our advice and get to a safe place right now. I realize the power is probably out. I'm really surprised we're still able to see this on the camera. But this is just an incredible shot of a tornado moving into the city of Cullman right now. There is large debris flying around in it. Don't stand outside and watch this. If you have to, just turn the television up as loud as it can go, and as long as you've got power, you can hear us. And if not, if the power goes out, just give it 10 minutes after the power goes out, and until you know everything has calmed down, until the rain has ended again, then you can go out and check things. It's going to take us a while, too, to understand what kind of damage has been done here.
And I want to point out, you're going to see this change in character as it comes through the city. You might see a point where you're not going to see this dark-shaped cloud. That doesn't mean that it's not down. This is more than likely a long-track tornado that's going to stay down for a long time. This could be a half-mile wide down there at the surface where it's touching the ground. And again, we've seen these multiple vortices from time to time, but that is a large wedge tornado that is coming through downtown Cullman. And again, do not worry about the change in the structure. This thing will probably stay down for a long period of time. So again, we are calling a tornado emergency for the city of Cullman and points north and east. That corridor going up Alabama Highway 69 up toward Joppa and Arab. And as Jason said, that is a very famous tornado corridor. And again, notice how it seems like you don't see the dark wedge down here. It's on the ground. You will notice that we've got a lot of debris down here in the base of this. This tornado is probably only about 5 miles now west of the Skycam site. The Skycam site is on top of the water treatment facility in downtown Cullman. And again, let's go into the bottom of that, Jason. Let's look for debris. We're going to check the bottom of this large tornado, okay? See the debris? We've got debris that's flying around in the base of this violent tornado that's coming through downtown Cullman right now.
And you can see all the different vortices involved with it, how the condensation funnel continues to change. You probably cannot see the entire impact of all the wind here. And again, please do not try to get it's in downtown right now. Look at that. That's pieces of buildings in downtown Cullman flying apart. So again, I cannot stress it enough. Please, if you are northeast of Cullman, take this very seriously. This is a life-threatening emergency in Cullman County, northeast of downtown Cullman. For about the next 20 minutes, a tornado is on the ground. We know it's on the ground. We see it. Please take cover immediately.
And again, you can see the debris. What happens, the radar beam will bounce off of these the shrapnel, if you will. That's called a debris ball. But in this case, we don't need a radar. You're looking at it live. And again, this is coming right through the middle of downtown Cullman. More than likely, it could be crossing US 31 right now. And again, this will be coming out in that general Highway 69 corridor up toward Joppa and Arab. We're going to stay with this as long as we can. This is perhaps one of the largest tornadoes we've caught on our tower cams over the years. Typically in Alabama, tornadoes are rain-wrapped, and typically you can't see them because of darkness, hills, or terrain. But we actually caught this the minute we first looked at the Skycam shot. And again, remember, I stress, just because you see this thing changing in structure, it's still down. You're going to see it looking different from time to time, and there could be a time where it lifts temporarily, but clearly we have debris right down here that is on the ground. And again, this is going to be very close to the Skycam site. So let's pull that thing out just a little bit, Jason, and you can see how...
Just for perspective, James, that tower on the right-hand side of the screen, that's the Channel 52
that's First
tower.
Baptist Church.
That's First
Right.
Baptist Church Cullman. So
Right.
it is
Let's pan to the right.
over the courthouse right now.
The Cullman County Courthouse sits across the street from First Baptist Church, and that is a low-power TV transmitter in Cullman. And again, this thing is coming right through the middle of downtown Cullman, right near First Baptist Church, right near the Cullman County Courthouse. It will continue moving roughly out Highway 278. Again, this is a tornado emergency, and I think we just lost power.
Just lost it.
All right. If we can double box this, okay, what we're going to put me in a box and the tornado in a box, and if we get the power back, we'll go right back to that. But again, that is a freeze frame of a violent tornado that is coming through downtown Cullman right now. All right, and that is moving northeast. The tornado could be very sizable based on what we're seeing on the Skycam. That tornado down at the base could be 1/2 mile wide, potentially. Again, we'll find out later with the storm surveys, but obviously there's been major damage in downtown Cullman from this. And again, that is going to be coming out to the northeast. This is Fairview right here. This is US 278, and again, the circulation is in downtown Cullman moving northeast, and that's Alabama Highway 69 right there. And Jason, this is your world. You grew up in Holly Pond, and Holly Pond took a big hit this morning, but this one again will be passing farther north.
Right. Alabama Highway 69, folks have known that area from Simcoe to Fairview up to Bayleton for years, and this is that classic path that will go from Cullman northeast up through that Highway 69 area. In fact, the tornado may actually be a little bit south of 69 for a while, and then it may wobble back and forth along it. That last image we have is very telltale. You can see those large black specks. That's where we have debris that has been picked up in the funnel and tossed around it, and from one side of that to the other, it may be as much as a solid 1/2 mile wide.